This week on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Where you will jump and yell at me.
No, I'm sorry.
And then if I match your tone,
I am not.
Oh my God! Don't yell at me.
I am not.
And it's getting very annoying.
I'm sorry that
It's
I'm
getting
annoying
very
to you.
annoying.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 14, Episode 4. Let's get right into this. Okay, this is a good episode. So we begin at this dinner where we left off last week. Kyle and Dorit are going at it, trying to figure out what the disconnect is. Kyle is accusing Dorit of things like her showing the text message that she sent her and not defending Teddi. So Dorit is defending herself and tells Kyle, "You have a double standard with me. You can do so many things to me, but when I make a simple silly comment, then like it's the end of the world, like it's the worst thing ever, and you'll stop talking to me." And she's then giving examples of when this has happened, like for even from years ago, like literally she brought up some example of like 2019. But again, Dorit's point stands. Kyle can do things that she can't, and I'm on Dorit's side on this because Kyle is not a good friend. She isn't. Shall we ask Lisa Vanderpump? Listen, I think the moment Kyle betrayed Lisa Vanderpump, it was done. She was done with me. That's why anyone that goes against Kyle, I'm on their side. But especially here, because Dorit is making some good points. Then, because Dorit is making these really good points as to how Kyle is not a good friend, Kyle throws it in there that she was going through a lot with her marriage and her friend who died. Dorit says that she gets that, and that's why she did give her a lot of grace for a while, but she pushed her too far. Dorit says, like, for example, were you mad at Erika for the things that she said? She went with Andy on Watch What Happens Live and said that she hoped that you were eviscerated at the reunion. Were you mad at her? And Kyle says, well, no, because I understood what she said. And Dorit's like, exactly. If I would have said it, though, you would have been so mad. It's hilarious, though, also because they're going at it. But remember, there's 8 other women. Well, besides Kyle and Dorit, there's 6 other women just sitting there, like, just watching them. They're like, should we eat? Then Sutton steps in and tries to sort of, like, mediate between them two. Because she has fought with Kyle. She knows what that's like. But they've made up, so, she's kind of trying to solve a little bit. Kyle says to Dorit, listen, at the end of the day, I do apologize. I shouldn't have said certain things like on Amazon Live. And Dorit says, thank you. Thank you for that. And I, too, I'm sorry for showing that text to Erika. The BravoCon comment, on the other hand, that was not malicious. That was not done to hurt you. So I apologize that you were hurt by that. And Kyle's like, but you saying that, you're negating your apology. Your apology is not genuine. You never want to own up to what you do. And Dorit says, I will always own up to what I do if I think I actually did something wrong. And Kyle says, I don't think you own up to things, and I don't think you apologize sincerely. And then Garcelle sort of mumbles something. And Dorit says, pardon? I don't know why I love the way she said that, pardon? And Garcelle says, well, I agree with Kyle that you don't own up to what you do, and you can't say you're sorry. And Dorit says, well, I'm not surprised you agree with that. I'm not your favorite person. You made that very clear, so I'm not surprised that you're on her side. Dorit was mad. Garcelle triggers Dorit for sure. The whole dinner table, they just became awkward. It was awkward. It was very awkward. And they kind of called it a night after that. So it is then the next morning. They're all waking up. We saw Garcelle and Sutton. They're talking about, feeling really uncomfortable at the table last night. Then Dorit goes over to Erika's room. Erika feels like she wants to be there for Dorit, and she's kind of giving her some advice because she sees the situation that Dorit is in and she can relate to it, like as far as having marital issues, like having your marriage between turmoil and going through problems in friendships. And so she understands that, and she knows that because that feeling can make you be short-tempered and say a lot of crazy things, she's got to be there for Dorit. So they all go down and meet at the lobby. The activity that they're going to be doing today is going on a boat. Kathy arranged some cool cars to take them there. Then they get onto this boat. It was very nice. And Sutton was very, very, very attracted to the captain, Captain Theo. She was going crazy over this guy. She was talking about he can park his ship in my harbor. I was just like, oh, he might be married. They then go to eat some lunch in the boat. It looked really good. The food looked really good, even though Kathy Hilton was there trying to tell the chef how to cook. When they sit to eat, Sutton asks Kyle and Dorit how they're doing, and Dorit says that she thinks they actually needed to really get some of the things off their chest that they did last night. And Dorit says, "I really been wanting to do it because I don't hate you. Like, I actually love you." And Kyle really liked hearing that. She then gets a little bit emotional, actually, and she says, both of us are going through so much. We need to be there for each other, not, fighting about this. And Dorit says, yeah, the irony is that our husbands are super close and they're leaning on each other. I was just like, Dorit, I don't think those two need someone to lean on. I think they're pretty happy. But Dorit and Kyle, they say that they will have more conversations. Like, there's still more conversations that they need to have, but it feels like they're on a good path. So after lunch, they all kind of separate for a bit. Sutton goes to talk to Dorit privately, and Sutton wants to let her know that, obviously she's gone through the same thing Dorit's going through right now with her ex-husband, and she wants to let her know that she's there for her. And Dorit says thank you. And because Sutton and her ex, they first separated, they then got divorced, and it took about 3 years to finalize. And Dorit says, I just want peace. But she's very grateful because her and Sutton have never really been close. But Sutton's being very supportive, and she even said, like, girl, if you end up getting a divorce, I will be there in that room with you to support you. Then Kyle and Garcelle go up somewhere, and Garcelle says that she has been having a hard time trying to figure out what is next for her as a woman, especially because her kids are growing up and they're going to be adults soon. And I understand what Garcelle feels like. Think about it. She was a model, became an actress, a wife, a mother. Now she's like a director. She came onto the show. But her kids are growing. They're going to be leaving soon. And she's always going to be a mom, obviously. But, her identity as a mom will change now that the kids are not underage, now that she's not, taking care of them every day. So she is trying to figure out the next stage in her life. And she got a little emotional. And Kyle feels this too, for sure, to a certain extent. Garcelle then asks Kyle, what about, about her, talking about her husband and Dorit's husband being super close, and Kyle says, yeah, and PK, he even reaches out to me sometimes. Down with the other ladies, they're asking Bose about her man. They've been dating for some months, and it looks like she's really into him. Remember, her husband, who she had her child with, he died, and she said it was been really tough trying to date after his death, but with this man, she does feel like things are good, because when she first tried to start dating, she had some horrible men she was going out with. Jennifer Tilly she says she also went through that. She was dating some grifter. So when they are getting ready to leave, Sutton is really into this captain, y'all. And they're asking him to carry her. And Sutton tells Dorit to give him her number. I'm still convinced that man was married. I really do think that. So they head back to the hotel. They have time to relax, and then they get ready to hang out much later when it is time for dinner. They all dressed up, looking good, especially Bozoma. Kyle took a really nice picture of Bose, and then Kyle's asking her sister Kathy, do you ever send nude pics to Rick? And Kathy says, no, we keep them in a safe at the bank. Okay. They're eating some good food again, and then Garcelle says to Dorit, Dorit, I have a question. You reposted something that Teddi Mellencamp posted. And Dorit says, oh yeah, I reposted a video that she posted of all of us singing with her dad on stage. And Garcelle was like, but didn't you say that she wasn't your friend? And Dorit's like, I never said that. I said that she is my friend, but I'm not super close with her. She posted a video of us being on stage with her dad. She tagged me in it, and I reposted it. That was so unnecessary, because Dorit is actually telling the truth, because they actually played a flashback, and that's exactly what she's saying. She said is actually exactly what she said. And all of the housewives, I've seen them do that when people post something and they tag them, they always repost it on their Instagram stories. And also, as Dorit is explaining what she said last night, Erika turns to Kyle and they say, I don't think that's what she said. That's not true. But again, because they showed the footage, Garcelle Erika and Kyle were wrong, just completely wrong when it came to that. So then Sutton tells them that she has something to read for them. She wrote something. They all had to stand up for some reason. She then reads it out loud. It's about sisterhood and we're all in this together. That's what I was thinking about the song. I don't know. She was like, let's hold hands. I was like, are y'all gonna pray? But she makes them all put their hands in the middle, and then she has a symbolic ribbon that she wraps all around their hands, and it was actually kind of beautiful at the end. She says that we are now sisters forever. Okay, it is then the next day, and they're heading back home. Sutton then decides to bring up something that happened last night. Remember, I told y'all she didn't like that Erika whispered to Kyle that Dorit was lying when she said that Teddi was her friend. And Erika's like, well, you were thinking it, we were all thinking it. And Dorit, yet again, has to say, I said I'm not close with Teddi. I never said I wasn't her friend. But then they're all sort of jumping in, and Kyle was like, this isn't about Teddi. And Sutton's like, yeah, this isn't about Teddi. It's not about Teddi, Dorit. And Dorit yells, yes, Sutton, I'm the one explaining to you. And Sutton was like, ma'am, don't scream at me like that. And then Dorit was like, you're screaming at me first. Sutton's like, I'm trying to bring this group together. So they were just yapping and yapping and yapping. And then Garcelle then says something about, we need to all be open and honest. And so Dorit says, okay, well, if we're going to be open and honest, you have a pattern. She was saying this to Sutton. You have a pattern of jumping and yelling at me. And if I match your tone, you get offended. And it's getting very annoying. And Sutton's like, no. And Dorit's like, yes, and you're acting like a child. They get off to get on the plane, and that was the end of the episode. I think that when it comes to that last part, I think that Dorit should have allowed Sutton to make her point. Like, at least make her point first before you try to defend yourself. Now, again, I understand why Dorit was being defensive, because Garcelle had already brought that up, trying to get a gotcha moment, and now Sutton was bringing it up again when, again, she clearly said what she said. But I do think she should have let Sutton finish. But yeah, that was a little crazy ending. And yeah, that was pretty much it for the episode. Next week, it looks like drama is gonna go down at some cowboy party that Kyle's organizing, and ooh, Camille Grammer's gonna be there. I can't wait. But for sure, great episode. But you guys, let me know what your thoughts were. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one.